What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Amber Gardner, and I am here for this week's hashtag Truth Tuesday. Yes, sir. This is where we discuss the truth and we see how we can be made free, all right? So, this week's topic, it's something that I have had to be able to get myself straight with. Some people might be a little surprised that this is something I've struggled with, being the pew baby and everything. Technically now I'm the PK, but that's a different conversation. The topic this week is on faith. If I had to get a subtitle, because I was, I guess you could say, preaching a sermon or whatever, I would have to say, I would give the subtitle of How to Believe When There's Nothing Worth Believing. So, the reason why I'm saying that, I'm just going to give a little backstory. Me, as I said before, pew baby, grew up in church, grew up in that old school church, that church where you got Sunday school, Sunday morning service, you leave for 3 hours, come back for Sunday evening service, you have Monday off, Tuesday Bible study, or actually Tuesday prayer, depending on what church you went to. Then you had Wednesday service, have Thursday choir rehearsal, Friday evangelistical service, Saturday morning prayer. Then you come back Sunday morning for Sunday school, do it all over again. Some of y'all that's laughing right now, y'all know what I'm talking about. So, I was in church all the time, and honestly, I loved it. For the fact of I grew up in the culture of God. And the reason why I say the culture of God is I loved God, but I loved God because honestly I had a very fairy tale thought process when it came to God. I thought of God kind of almost like the fairy godfather. Like, okay, so I pray, he does what I want him to do, we're all good. 6 years old Kate, all that changed. My mother and my father and I, we moved to another state, and let's just say life got interesting. And me, I was that young person, get up and testify. You don't know how good God's been. Read my Bible, could break down things in the Bible, in some people's opinion, better than the grown folks. However, I had not experienced that thing for myself. So things started going on in my household. And I'm praying to God like, yo, Lord, this ain't cool. Get this right. Seemed like things started getting worse. I'm like, yo, Lord, what's good? You not hearing me? Yo, get this straight, man. get my family back to how I was. I ain't with this. Still nothing. Year go by, nothing changing. 2 years go by, nothing changing. By the third year, that's when I noticed my prayer life start to drop. And it was because it's like, it's almost like you keep calling somebody for an emergency and they don't answer. After a while, you stop calling. Started praying less to a point where I was not praying at all. By the time I got to 10 years old, my prayer life was basically gone. I had a very, very different view of God. My parents ended up divorcing, and me and my mother moved back to my home state of Virginia. And my view of God just had taken a dive like nobody's business. I honestly started feeling like I had been faked out by God. It's like, so I serve you, I go to church, I do what you say, and my family falls apart. And mind you, when we got to Virginia, things didn't get easier per se. My mother, she struggles with an illness, so that fell in my lap. For the most part, we struggled with homelessness a maximum of 3 times. My life is interesting. Trust me, you don't write a book and you ain't got something actually to write about. Life is interesting for your girl. So what it was that I had to, and it took a while for me to do this, I had to mature and learn the fact that you have to have faith even when it does not seem like there's nothing to have faith in. I had to learn to have faith even when I was sleeping on a cot on the floor. I had to learn how to have faith even when I was in a hospital with my mother in the hospital bed and I'm by myself. I had to have faith even when I felt like I was being shunned by the people who served the same God I served. I had to have faith regardless. Okay? It took some time. It definitely took some time. It took some pull. It took certain people in my life. That's why I love my spiritual father and my spiritual mother and my sister Sarah. That's why I love them with every piece in me, for the fact of, if it was not for them, I would still be bound to this day. God used them so miraculously in my life to help me get free from some stuff. That's why I tell people, and me, submission is not my biggest strength, but it's necessary. Get accountable and get up under somebody so you can get your stuff straight. Because you cannot be free walking around in shackles. You got to get your stuff straight. But it took some time. It took some time. It took some energy. It was definitely something that had to be done. I mean, I have been told from a little child, God has great things set up for your life. But you can't free somebody else and you still bound. The two don't go together. So 3 things I learned in all of that process is this. Number 1, you have to be able to have faith even when you feel there is nothing to have faith in. Now, as I told you all, I had to really come up out of the fact that you cannot just have faith when you feel, oh, everything's going good. Your faith is never tested if you never go through anything, okay? If you really want, if you ask God to increase your faith, be prepared to go through something, okay? Because faith is like muscles. You are not able to gain it if there is no strain, okay? Number 2, and this is one I have to even check myself on, all right? Realize that sometimes God's answer is going to be no, okay? Me, myself, I had a very fairy tale aspect when it came to God. I thought, oh, I can go to God, I can ask what I want, it's going to always be a yes. Sometimes your answer will be no, okay? It's almost like a mom. A child wants a snack and it's only an hour till dinner. The mom knows if the child has the snack, they will not be able to digest their food that has actual nutrients. So the mom is going to say no. It's the same thing with God. And number 3, and to me, this is very much the most important one, realize that your life is not just about you. It is bigger than you. And I say that for the fact of, sometimes, I've heard people sometimes say, God is going to help me reach my dreams. God's going to help me reach my goals. And there's nothing wrong with that. However, realize, if your dreams and your goals do not line up with God's purpose, you have to have the faith to believe His purpose for your life is better than what you feel you should be doing. You have to have the faith that, you know what, God, even when me and you, even when my flesh and your spirit do not agree, I trust you to know that you know what's best. You know what's best, even when what is best is not what I would want. True surrender is being able to accept it even when your opinion and God's opinion do not match, and be able to say, God, because you reign on high, what you know is best for me outweighs what I feel is best for me. So, number 1, have faith even when you feel there's nothing to have faith in. Number 2, realize sometimes God's answer will be no. And number 3, realize that your life is not just about you. It is bigger than you. See you all next week. I thank you for joining me here. I'm going to see y'all later. Peace. Thank you for joining me for this week's #Truth Tuesday. Follow me on Facebook at Amber Gardner, Twitter at ABK Gardner, and Instagram at _A Gardner. Also, subscribe to Step by Step TV on YouTube, where you can enjoy the previous hashtag Truth Tuesdays and keep up with daily updates. I'm happy that you joined me, and I look forward to seeing you next week here at hashtag Truth Tuesday, where we discuss the truth and see how we can be made free. See you later.